So, good morning, Derbycon. How you doing today? Thank you, everybody, for coming out here, especially at 8:30 in the morning. I'm sure a lot of us partied hard yesterday, and we're feeling the ramifications of that this morning. But I appreciate coming out here to our 5th year, which for us is amazing. We never would have thought doing this that we would have made a whole run into 5 years, and it's actually interesting. I'm knocking on wood here, but this year has been one of the smoothest so far that I think we've ever had, which is a testament to everybody that we have working here and the folks here that you come to the conference for. So appreciate everybody's help and everything you're doing. First action item is I want to thank our sponsors for coming out here and sponsoring Derbycon. Without them, we would not be able to do it. Our diamond sponsors, Cobalt Strike. If you're familiar with them, Raphael's going to have a demonstration of his version 3 coming out, which is going to be super awesome. But just want to give a round of applause for all of our sponsors that make this possible. So thank you. Except Chris and Nikki. Anyways, sorry, buddy. So who's here as a first timer coming to Derbycon? Wow, nice. Welcome. Who here has been to one Derbycon, one or more Derbycons? Keep your hands up. All right. Awesome. Who here has been to 2 or more Derbycons? Yeah. Well, no. Well, I got yeah. No, not counting. Well, whatever. Shenanigans. Okay, 2 or more, including this. Okay. So what about 3? 4? 5? Hey, everybody that just did 5, please stand up. You're all getting ice now? No, I'm just kidding. Sound out really quick. No, for the folks that have been here for 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 years just supporting us, again, round of applause. Thank you guys so much. And guys and gals. You know, when we started this, it was a number of years ago. It literally started with Adrian. I talk about this, I think, every year. But it was literally Adrian had come over and he's like, hey, I think we want to put a Metasploit class out here in Kentucky. And, would you be willing to come down and talk? And Adrian and I and Martin actually all got together before that at the Louisville ISSA. And Adrian was the one that ran the Capture the Flag. And so Martin calls me up. He's like, hey, man, you want to do the Capture the Flag with me? And, let's destroy things. And, I got this thing. I'm like, I'm a little nervous doing CTS because, like, what happens if you go in there and then, like, someone just completely destroys you and then, like, oh, I just destroyed Dave Kennedy. I'm like, oh, there's a lot of better people out there than me. That's fine. But so I was all nervous. I didn't want to do it. And Martin's like, come on, man. Let's go and do it. So we ended up doing this Capture the Flag, and at the time I was working on a 0-day for Windows Vista. And we're doing this CTF, and there's a fully patched Windows Vista box on the CTF network. And I'm like, oh, cool. Maybe it's like supposed to be like a really hard challenge that Adrian put in there, So, I own this Windows Vista box with a 0-day. And I get access to this computer, and I'm like going through it. I'm like, man, Adrian really made this look real. It's like Adrian's videos and, all this other stuff. And one of the things was like the CTF videos. I'm like, oh, well, maybe if I own this box, I get access to his CTF videos because I'll automatically win because I use the 0-day. Cool. So I'm downloading his videos. I'm like, wait a minute. Maybe I'm not supposed to be in here. So I go upstairs and Adrian, I'm like, hey, is there a Windows Vista box that's fully patched? And he's like, he looks back at his laptop. He's like, oh, crap. That's how Adrian and I became very good friends.
The moral of the story is, check your scope first, please.
You're in the same subnets. Yeah. But, we all became really good friends after that here. And Adrian ended up putting on a Metasploit class out here. And we decided, hey, let's all come to Louisville and help out with the Metasploit class. And I think we wanted originally, 25 people or something like that?
That's about what we were aiming for, but I think like 70-something signed up.
70-something showed up, and so we're going to this dive pizza place. It's like a pizza place we went to afterwards. And like, man, it'd be really cool to start a conference. We all started talking about it, and I was with one of my buddies, Jamie Murdoch, on the way back, and literally we're saying, I'm going to do a conference. And so, the first thing is you have to break that news to the person that's basically going to be running the conference. And so, it gets to deal with the stuff afterwards. So I brought it to Erin, like, hey, I think we should start a conference in Louisville. And she's like, that sounds cool. Let's do it. I'm like, okay, great. And so we didn't really know what that meant. The first year we needed 400 people to balance out. We got over 1,000. It was one of those things where you're like, hey, if no one shows up, we're totally screwed financially, but we got to figure it out anyway. So it ended up all working out. And what we really wanted to do was bring a conference to folks that has a good vibe to it, where we all kind of come together and learn from each other. And you could see that downstairs yesterday, right? I mean, everybody was downstairs. There was no groups or cliques or anything like that. We were just hanging out, having a good time drinking beer. And then so a lot of us migrated over to 3rd Street Dive, and then we were doing karaoke there, so we all got to see horrible singing and everything else that was going on. I think we did take videos of that, so we have videos of people out there, so be good. But that's really what we all started with here. But to kind of go through who's up here right now, and then there's a whole support team behind an ecosystem behind Derbycon, the staff, the security. We got Creepy Carl right here. Creepy, Creepy Carl right here. You want a round of applause? So if you get an email from creepy@derbycon.com, that is a legit email. He's been complaining. He's like, man, whenever I send emails out, no one ever responds to me because it's creepy@derbycon.com. And I'm like, I'm not changing it, dude. That's your name. You got to deal with it. We got Dave DeSimone right there. Dave. We got the famous Adrian Crenshaw, Iron Geek. We got my lovely wife, Erin Kennedy, here. And what's interesting is Martin, when I first met him, his hacker handle's pure hate. So I'm expecting like this really mean guy when I first meet him. He's like the nicest, sweetest dude ever. He puts on this whole facade online. He's like the nicest. You saw he got a pedicure yesterday and he took pictures of that? Or manicure. Was it manicure or pedicure? Was it mani-pedi?
No.
Oh, okay. Just a manicure, okay.
Yes.
But anyways, he's one of the nicest guys you ever meet. So we got Martin Boss here.
That was fourth.
And we got the head of security here, Nick Hitchcock. And can we give a round of applause for the people? Derbycon isn't just run by one person or two people or three people. The staff, the security, everybody that dedicates their time to stuff bags and to be here early. I mean, we were here at 5:30 in the morning getting everything ready to go, and the countless hours that we all plan this. It's literally we start planning in January to get to where we're at here, and it's every 2 weeks we have calls and we're getting things moving and going and all of those good things. And the first item of business is usually the theme, coming up with family roots or unity or whatever we want to accomplish kind of for that year. But let's give a round of applause for all the folks that make Derbycon happen, and that's standing back here in the red shirts, the blue shirts, and everybody else that makes it possible. One thing really quick, remember this is kind of a family type feel con, so, be kind to one another. If you see anybody, acting or misbehaving, just let us know. Let the security folks know. We'll deal with it and take care of it. Be safe. If you're going through, the parties, we have a big party tonight. We have a big party tomorrow. Obviously, we're going to get a little inebriated. A little bit's probably an understatement. But, be kind to one another. Don't, pinch people that don't want to be pinched or touch people that don't want to be touched. Don't hug people that don't want to be hugged. Be courteous of one another's space and all that good stuff.
We will enforce that. We
yeah.
will enforce that.
Right. So just remember we're here to have fun. What's that? Except for Chris is getting a hug regardless of... Yeah.
I can't say what?
And ultimately, learn. My goal when I came here is to meet at least 20 people. Well, I meet way more than 20 people, but at least try to stay in contact every year with 20 new people that I meet. And that's kind of a goal that I've set, to continue to learn from folks that come out there. Treat the Hyatt Louisville staff. Let's get a round of applause for Hyatt Louisville. Aren't they awesome? I've never seen a hotel give Jello shots when you check in. That's amazing.
I was wondering what those were.
Yeah, the first day I checked in, it was like a alcoholic beverage thing, and they saying "Welcome Derbycon." They know that we like the party, so they're giving us free drinks already. They kind of get it going. But the taunting on Twitter about the keg wars. I know last year it was the impenetrable keg, fortress of doom or whatever. But they're a great staff. They treat us well, and they really try to accommodate everything that we do. But they're really great. Just remember here, no cliques, no groups. Go up to anybody. If you want to meet somebody, go talk to them. That's what it's all about here, and learning from one another because we're all the same when it comes down to. Interesting enough, on Derbycon, I don't know if you know the financials behind it, but literally what we do is we have sponsors that support, the conference itself. We have, the ticket admittances. We have the training pieces, and usually we end up with around $350,000 for the whole conference. That may seem like a lot of money, right? That's great. But when you pay trainers and the hotel and everything else, and the taxes that go along with that, usually at the end of the year we have around $60,000 left. And then after the taxes and the hotel we pay for next year, we usually have 0 left. So every year we usually break even. We put all the money back into the next year to make it better and better. As you can see, we have multiple bands this month. We've improved a lot on the everything that we're doing as far as a conference. We're trying to get better and better every year and do things a little bit more manageable. But this isn't a money thing for us. It's just a thing that we do to have a lot of fun with one another and just once a year kind of recharge and party here with all of our friends. And yeah, that's pretty much that. So that's the financials around that. Where's Trent at? Come here. So if you're not familiar with the ICE Challenge, this started a couple years ago with Trent, and he actually got a black badge out of it. But we're going to demonstrate really quick the ICE Challenge and what this means. So if you have somebody that comes up to you with a Smirnoff Ice, obviously you have to be 21 or over. But if someone gives you a Smirnoff Ice, you have to chug it and drink it right there. Then you get a Smirnoff Ice. And I'll let Trent go through all this, but then that's kind of the basic principles that you can ice somebody else. So we're going to demonstrate this really quick with Chris and Nagy. Okay, here you go. Here.
Are you gonna pour that into your mouth?
Here, yeah. Yeah, let me.
No problem. Holy crap, that's hot. No problemo, suckers.
If you're not familiar with what he's doing right there, we heat them up to make it worse. So we literally have an oven, a portable oven that we bought. And on a laptop, what are you doing? It's my baby. Now, some creative folks, Deviant and Brandon and a lot of other folks created these things called the Ice Medics, which last year we would heat them up.
That's like a mark.
And so it actually comes out the other end cold now. So if you see these folks walking around, they may be able to save you. So our goal, icing, is to not be
This
around
is
people
literally
that don't
the
have the Ice
longest
Medics.
ice ever.
I don't care. You iced me 23 times.
Usually doesn't take this long.
I don't care.
You do know that the ice is bigger than that cup, right? Why don't you just let me hold
We're getting
this?
older.
I don't care. This stuff is horrible.
What are you doing exactly, Chris?
Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, ice.
Still not good, is it? Still not good, is it?
Good. Somebody put rocks in there, right?
Smeared on ice.
So there actually is a way to get immunity from being iced. So at the hackers, yeah, you got to keep drinking, buddy.
Oh, it's the wrong one.
So this year, you can go over the
Just stand over
Hackers
there
for
and
Charity,
represent
and you'll see these white bands that say Derby Ice 2015. Optiv was nice enough to sponsor this. Yeah, that's too bad, man. That's why we changed them. That's part of the game. So actually, like if I was going to ice Erin, I would need more than 2 bands to ice her. I'd have to give her an ice plus 3. So it's, it builds on itself. It's a fun game. And actually, there's some ice on some chairs here. So you guys, did you find it already? Yeah? Yeah, take that and ice someone. And there's one over here too. Someone under that chair. You got it? Meet someone. Turn around and ice someone. Find someone over there.
But how do you get such wristbands?
At the Hackers for Charity.
Okay.
There you go. For $5.
That's right. Every year, I don't know if you know this or not, but every year we raise more money than any other conference does for Hackers
still
for Charity.
drinking that?
So we beat DefCon, we beat everybody. And that's a testament to the amount of people we have and what you guys do. I know, that's the perfect time for Smirnoff. It's a good one.
Move along. Move along.
Move along.
Move along.
We're watching you, though. Keep drinking.
Yep.
Thanks, Trent. So be aware of this man, as well as many others. Got some ices. Ice somebody. Ice your friend.
somebody.
Ice your neighbor.
Ice somebody.
What's so
Not
funny
like
is
the
like,
mob.
they're like, I really
Not
don't
like
want
the
to.
mob.
You can also drink it yourself. Either way, you're fine.
Looks tempting.
There we go. There we go. How warm is it?
Speakers. So if someone's actually speaking and you ice them, that's like one way that the speaker will always remember you. So if you get an ice and you ice a speaker, they will never forget you.
And remember, Chris and Nagy is speaking, I believe, today. So
What time?
check the schedules. No, that's one thing. The HFC has a booth in the vendor area. If you, all the proceeds go to the Hackers for Charity Foundation. If you're not familiar with Hackers for Charity, Johnny, where are you at? Is Johnny here? Johnny? Johnny's probably still sleeping.
All right, so we're not giving the Hackers for Charity now.
No, not yet. It's over. No, HFC is a really great organization where Johnny teaches folks in Uganda, technology and everything else, and all the proceeds go to Johnny's funds to be able to continue the teaching out there. So if you go out there and buy stuff from his booth, there's a lot of great things we're going to be auctioning out there. Definitely check it out. One thing to note on the mention, do you see something? You say something? Go ahead. One thing I was going to mention is the schedule is in the handouts have changed a little bit. Make sure to use the one on the website. That is your go-to to make sure that all the talks that you want to go to are there. We've had some switcheroos and people that couldn't make it, minor, like one or two. But some of the schedules have changed a little bit, so be sure to check the schedule online. That is your go-to resource. We're going to have a TV outside that has the schedules listed on there too, so you can kind of go to that one as well. Scott, you there?
Where?
Oh, there he is. Mudflap.
How we doing, everyone? Over 5 years ago, Dave, which I've known since 2007, says, "Hey, we're going to do this conference." I'm like, "You're kind of nuts. That's a big responsibility. I need some help." I'm like, "Oh, geez. What can I help with?" He goes, "Well, we want to do a CTF." I'm like, "Well, I've never done a CTF. I've been to DEF CON. I've never participated. Can you make one?" "I guess." "Well, what does that involve?" "I don't know. Go figure it out." That was a bad choice.
Dave, is that how I never act like to Simon? I never act that way, do I?
No.
Like yesterday, I'm like, "Hey, it'd be a good idea if we can do streaming." And then I'm like, "Okay," so then I just tweeted from Derbycon, "We're going to do live streaming," not knowing if we could do it or not. So,
yeah, we're going to make this happen. Well, I promised the world and better deliver, Scott. No pressure or anything. So what do? I have no idea. So I started researching it, never played one. Decided, I'm going to do it my own way. I'm going to simulate a pen test. What do we need? Oh, we need a scoreboard. Where do we get one of those? I don't know. I'm a former web developer, so I made one. Nice 1990s colors. Here we are 5 years later. I'm busting out my old CSS and C# and other skills that I haven't used for a long time. And we've revamped the scoreboard. We now have a public scoreboard. Every time someone scores, we update it out on the internet. It's at scoreboard.ctf.derbycon.com. There are posters hanging around with that information on it. All of our updates will be via Twitter at DerbyconCTF. In addition to that, the CTF is designed for anyone who might be just starting out, children, to the most seasoned pen tester. And it's flag-based. Everybody has the same opportunities. There's an environment that you go after. You're going to have to port scan, go look for different things, see what's out there, and you'll find different flags. The flags are worth different values, and when you submit it to the scoreboard, it will tell you what your team has gotten for how many points there are. It's self-registration, so you can play on your own or you can play with other folks. It's up to you. We have some great prizes again this year. I can't remember them all because we're got 10 places. The first place prize, well, first place you get to choose out of the pool of prizes, but we have a Derbycon black badge. I don't know why anyone would want that. Would they auction it off for last year?
This is the last year that we're doing this, and I was kidding.
What did they auction the black badge for last year?
I think the last black badge went for like $3,500 or $4,000. Yeah.
Right, and we had our team last year, and when Dave has, when you guys think of the name of the conference, you're like, Unity, all in the family. I feel at home here, and you guys have never been better. Everyone is so nice to us. Not only that, we've gotten donations for gear for multiple folks. We have our 8U rack that was donated, switches, routers. We actually have some real hardware. We're not, just using some small home office stuff.
Justin Haywood and a lot of other folks that donated good stuff there, so really
right.
Appreciate it.
So for our 10 places that we're giving out, we have a Microsoft Surface Pro 3, Apple Watch, Fitbit Surge, Amazon Echo, $300 Amazon gift cards, and $50 worth of iTunes gift cards. We've got 2 places for that. So with that being said, I don't think I've forgotten anything, but come out and join us. We'll be in the conference room theater. It's the second floor opposite of the escalators. And we also have an overflow in the Oaks room. So come on out. If you have any questions, let us know. Derbycon CTF is on Twitter. Thanks.
Thanks, Scott. It's actually funny, the capture the flag stuff. I own Trusted Sec, which is where a lot of the folks are there from in Binary Defense. So we all, like, months before, all plan together, and the whole team is basically dedicated. So I take them off a billable work to bank the CTF, which is always great. But they put in mad hours after hours during weeks. I mean, they were all in their hotel rooms yesterday doing new things. So, you know, those guys spend so much time to make that possible. So thank you guys, everybody that makes that possible and continues it going. On the events side of the house, make sure you check the events page on the website as well as what's in your handouts. Note that what's not in the handout is we're going to be showing Hackers the movie tomorrow, Saturday, at 7:15 p.m., and that'll end right before the party starts. But notice there is limited availability. We're doing it in the theater room, which has about, you know, a seating for about 100 people or so, 150 people. So, you know, get there early if you want to see it, and we'll probably show it again afterwards. Our license, we licensed it to be able to view it here. We can only show it tomorrow, so we might do another showing of it depending on the timing. But we have the licenses from the MPA and all those good ones to be able to view it here at Derbycon. So, thank you. One big item of news that we're contemplating, and I want to show you this really quick here. And what I want to caveat this with is that this is something that we're contemplating doing. We're going to send a questionnaire out to the audience. So it's only going to be one. I'm not going to spam you or anything. But whether or not we should do this or not, and this is completely up to you as an audience, as con attendees to decide. But one thing we noticed is that Derbycon sold out in about 2 weeks. Everybody noticed that? I mean, it was literally sold out in 2 weeks, which a lot of folks couldn't be here because of that. We're contemplating expanding the conference a little bit. And obviously we can't do that here in this space, but we don't ever want to leave the Hyatt, which we never will. So one thing I can say is that we're looking at possibly doing a combination of the conference here and at the Marriott. Now, before everybody freaks out like, oh man, this is going to be like DefCon, that's not the case. We're only going to expand it a little bit to kind of be able to get more space to do more things, to make it more, because like right now, space-wise, you know, the Jeopardy, you know, thing that's going on tonight, we can have 70 people in it. You know, we'd like to be able to expand that more and have more rooms to do more events. But I just wanted to show you a quick walk real quick and how long it takes to get there.
Yep.
Is it on?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
Is it on?
No.
Okay. Hey Derbycon attendees. You know, Dave here. Just want to kind of walk through what we're planning on doing. The goal is to always stay here at the Hyatt, but there's a lot of folks that want to come to Derbycon that can't. So our plans are, and we want to get everybody's opinion on this ahead of time and kind of be transparent with it, is we're thinking about splitting the conference between the Hyatt, which is here right now, and the Marriott. And if you're not familiar with the walk, I just want to do a really fast walk with you to show you how long it takes to move from one place to the other. And the goal would be to have, you know, multiple talks and tracks in different locations, and the CTF in one location, Lockwood Village in the other, to kind of space it out a little bit more and give you a little bit more room to go to the talks that you want to, and also maybe grow the con just a little bit to get more folks that want to attend Derbycon. So let's go for a quick walk and kind of go through everything here, okay? So here's the ballroom right here. Walking out to the ballroom. Should be very familiar. So we have doors here that go directly out to the skywalk. Everything's got air conditioning, heat, don't have to worry about that. And the goal is, you know, to maybe give a little more time, maybe like 5 minutes between the talks themselves so you can get from one side to the other. But all in all, it should take about 3 to 5 minutes max to do the walk. It's all covered. You can also go in the street too. But overall, I mean, this is kind of the main walkway that you get to before you get to the garage entrance to the Marriott itself. This leads out to the garage here. Notice here on the floors, we have little signs. And then we can go through here. Once we get past the garage here, you're right at the Marriott here. When you get to the different directions. All right, from start to finish. To get to the Marriott. I had to speed up a little bit. From start to finish, it was 3 minutes and 34 seconds as a casual walk to get from here, those rooms right there, over to there. So contemplate it, think about it. If it's something that we don't want to do as a conference, then we won't do it. Our goal isn't to turn this into a massive conglomerate conference. We don't want that at all. We also don't want it the experience that you folks come to every year to also go away. And also, there's a really good ecosystem here of sharing. If we split that up, you know, is there things downstairs that, you know, you don't get to hang out or partake with? I mean, the Hyatt will always be our core here. We'll always have the majority of the stuff here. But also we want to be able to have more things and kind of split them up. So what we probably do is 2 tracks over there, 2 tracks over here. And then, we can grow the stable rooms and make the stable rooms much larger, which are some of my favorite tracks to go to. So just different things to consider. So think about it, just something that we're kind of contemplating. Last but not least, have fun. Obviously, that's what we're here for, to learn, to have fun, and to meet one another and kind of have that reunion. But just want to thank everybody again for coming out here. Without you, this definitely would not be possible. Without Aaron, which basically is the glue that holds us all together. You've talked to any of us. I mean, like literally, we are the most motley of crew you can possibly imagine on conference calls. And Aaron will be like, listen, can we get back to like doing something here? Like if we have calls without Aaron, the calls are like 7 hours and we do nothing.
Squirrel.
So, yeah, definitely squirrels. So Erin keeps us all together. She does all the planning behind it. But Martin with all of the AV and everybody else that we have working behind here, and Adrian with the video recording, and Dave and Creepy doing everything great in the background, making this thing happen. It's just wonderful, and all the staff here that makes it possible. So again, round of applause for everybody here that makes Derbycon possible, the speakers, everybody. Behave, kind of, and have a good time, all right? Next, we have Jordan coming up here for the keynote. So give us about 3 to 5 minutes to kind of set up here, and then we'll be kicking off the keynote. Thanks, everybody, for coming out to Derbycon. I look forward to it. It's going to be a great time.